Hello, Nyanum. Yamamunya jo, Yamamachi, Yamamaha, no Ribia, Mutie. Waba, Yamakwaba. Yesrese, Nyabutre, Niti, and Enkomo Yibidino. Na emfaso so. Medemo fa same BAC was Switzerland. Somewhere see. Emrebi na Winfrey, Oprah, yenyina yenimu no a oye American oye TV presenter and oye famous. Oko se woko na damfo Tina Turner awale o Zurich na oko na de be chiamo ma ye wedding no na oye so de oko work oko nanti krom no ahwe krom enti onante no ana hu store no me money din but o de wo hia ase me bon dia me bon dia kire to hu store no hu bag bi ana wo ahwe nenim store na nhwe nenim ana ne gie bag no no pɛ so be de obeto bag no wura so nim ho nti wura so mu ho no ɛna nipa na no ho na oton ade no says no girl no catch o catch say obeso hwe bag na ɛwɔ omode asi ɛhɔ na ɛhyehyɛ mu no ana store no girl na says girl no catch say bag ne de ontimi emfa ma no because ontimi nto ɛna Oprah catch say no obeso hwe enti ma says girl ni bu chese ne yi kakra samaka sama chiro na se wunti a wosemaka chese wuntimi nto enti ekoye bibi se nipa na oye says girl no ono no ne kuremu no o ka chere se mehwe wosuban ene wotibia se mehwe wosu anya se wosuban mehwe osu ne wotibia na menye hwe so obetimi atosa bag no enti me ka chere se me pese obeha ho but no onim nipa kronso na pranso so yede oye because bag no na 28,000 I think say 28,000 euros or say $28,000 aye my bag edi entina me de ade we ehye enkomo aye bedi anse mprempi no eduru me bia ya na ye nkomodie no eduru bia bebia osi edina osi kasa nkomo no kasa osi sika no eduru bia na osi ede ehwe ni ye because even se wo change verb and as a preposition ni sa na manema na kra na etimi sisa kasa no eti wan hwe yi a asem ne bia sa says girl no asem no kan no na ko ka chen se won beso bia obema nani ayede abeje bag na bro obehu se ne buo ni na fe na ayede na ba mabuo but na wonim se nipa no gene ni mu no obetimi atosto no kra ayede enyina the same things are happening with US obi call bank so ayede or kwakobu some information ya dade bank manager no who the type of person awye no wan yedai wan mano wan tinenim wan ye ye nkyere no ade nipa ne ye ne se oyedai ofiri wokoye no koye no kofre ne nkofo no ye team no ka jense se bank mbese meto oto bank no oto bank ni wie no ena ofre meeting se be ya omode we dey ye be ode no be kire nti hono na bank manager na o refuse nipa no ohun se ni new manager na wato bank no anase ni CEO ni new CEO no won na tin anim na o refuse no nti misremo adan komo ye bedi ni no kakra me de besia na me de ni nyina me de legend ama bibia ama no mma ye hu se communication way or mass communication skills no e important ada se wan kasa wo ye business e wati wadwuma wo bi wadwuma anasa ada se wo ye obi adwuma krama no se wo ye CEO so ye manager se wo ye just a simple worker no edumre bia ya communication no anxiety anase bibia to before say nipa ne beba no ntino etimi makoye mfonso enti mesremo ada nyabotre ne tie information no menka se de ka no enye ntino wo hwe mo 30 seconds pe na akọ bedase nyame nhyiraw mesro se wo on subscribe my because do no mo hwe no o subscribe like na mon stress be comment stress be comment because no boa madwumadi no so dey etimi ko akire meda wanse Mr. Ferris mpacho me mo akwa aba
Yo, Mr. Charles, Major also, I hope so. Baby Aboko.
Nyamiado, Bibia Boko, Sounds of Jesus also Boko, so.
Oh, Yami Adam, I was for no be ahoy.
Yo, Nyamiasi. Okay, and Sana me di bibi abema misa menu no because minti min college and bio go see mami nka bio enti ene ye me last time dey college and no although me ni nya agreement die enti wa oni me agree me say you be friend legend no chere comment na say mami okay and Sana me di be ma no mema meda anuanom na dofu nyina mo de ani gia ba be hie mu ha no meda mu nyina mase eda mase pa yen sha ase within 6 minutes nipa be 8 na online am like near that intino yeda mase legend mpacho wako aba
yeah, so also aso de na untie de atene
fache me na ekeka
me cha do tie fo any problem me cha na tie fo nyina ne ye nyana ma o nyina ahia ene a o matune in any almost on be be kire nyina ba be tie a kire be fine no me cha obia
yo yeje also bi an say that was a pan in bra wanya o wa say ya so de dey nia wa fa mu no so de bi ye be ebre say mre bi a wo de ye no enamusun ti de bi mo ye empo emoa enamusun ti bi mo so ye de backyard garden teacher ni a wo kira de wo de ne de ayi nkruma ana wo de edu ne ofie nyina ba bi o tie bia anti no ye da sinyame hirawo na wo say how to master communication skills for business adenti ena also one year idea we say important here we say ye besua nti me de ma me da ase
okay yo me that's ebusua for ti ene ai me pick a topic way based on conversation be me mama be have e wo ye krom kasa no na ye oba obesrai na ne nam die ko ekroma no me mano kasa and no say one thing I want notice ni say America for nkola no etimi express o mo ho eno mutimi kasa busa questions a odwene ho abeka se ya sheda ne ya ka kire no but ya kura na free will ene ne ma wo suenti na e man itimi ye vocal man itimi busa questions sa eno also me hwe ade bi say ye krom kasa no ye ni vocabularies bebre into ye krom kasa no ye limited because utimi fa asante kasa bi to say ebia oba obai you know bra Nina sounded the same and sometimes spelling it the same, but it meaning different. It's just the way you change your tone. So, a bit to say, Oka, na mene Panford Mebusan, if you have no catching his friend and answering through Mohoma. But Okos our way anymore. You know, Obeti different ways, you mouth for say, and he said, I'll be to my kind of public. And I society, you need vocabulary be brave, they expressing name be brave. So sometimes if I wear the back up, me didi, where didi, just say the same word now, and the word you know, a bit mean so many things. You need words, different words for those things. But now I'm bringing all these things them to your memory and say then your communication is low because the winning words be prayer. Then how do you communicate on a higher level? And until yes, our cool school no, the near train ye chew and poor. Ube chew at the end no the teacher the train and all kind of same thing. It's utruby be with what dream near say, oh, you're wrong, near team. It's you may pin up. Now, the entire day bar and say, yeah, business people, you know, one way or the other, will be a BB. And as business, no, we will communicate with the world. The big we are seeing, we are seeing casa, say your product, and you see a ton you crew, you see a ton your name. Now, say anybody, I mean, I could do, John. or no vocabularies be brave. And no ya jano no ye free will no timi kasa. And no timi expression no. But me so no baby me free no ya limit me. And I me kasa me ni kasa be brave. And me ni sem be brave, you know. Sometimes the main tia se no ejira e wo translation. Right now they say you can't free word because I am finding difficult to translate your cobrofo. And I can't brofobia. You deba you free word man. I say what they find say a gam and I say hausa and I say ya. We say finding it difficult. It's near many be over. A brofo say no musi free at the end. Sahani a friend with chrome. Just in pronouncing the ye. So the tree the ankasana was senka ye canon ni. And then we can just say, Obi Oka say wheat. Obi abeni wheat. But I say uncle wheat. Na can di and I said ni and cry di and I said ni house di wheat kura no wan you. So I'm saying admit. And you know, my make dream and I say you know what I was say and itimishia near day so kakra you nim any I feel say as a business person. Here and communication is a very big key when it comes to say open say udiga and as a person you're entrepreneur and as a person you're business person. Communication is a very big skill. And even to the extent say you cry now about Western world has say no say who now you'll be able to express it yeah na you who say who you mean and how do you pin up. And then now boil down to communication. Because communication, yeah, so we be one open sometimes with gestures, I'll be sure your body language, your facial expression, then can communication. Because can say we my name say who say at the end of can me no I drink share. They just me hear me name say we say me no I drink me need the can me too. And I say kasa no my say that means asem na can me food me am just am na can go and rama kuma no matia asem na wo kan as we join a meeting. So how do we balance all these things? Said yeah kwa business with Nkrofo and I say you krum for Ghana obi a omuni omunya insight into how you communicate. Now the offer said yeah that no sa how are you going to open them up to do business with them and to bring business not outside. So these are some of the key points. And you know, I have about 12 points about throw down and before say baso. Not the also so no team the offers of the kahon or the kahon. That's the just the summary of why idea whereby say communication skills, you know. And Sarah started. If there is any question and answer, Mr. Charles, who any be just let me know before you dive into details of how it go.
Yo, okay, me that's it. So far, no, me need it to be a BBA, me busa. Mema, Mr. Professor can be a crabber, can the all kind of a walk details or said na or see can pepe. Me that's it.
All right.
Mr. Ferris. Okay, wait to ask legend. Let me say.
Okay. You know, I hear me no say this right now we are about to start on a strategic communication. Yeah, you have to master communication skills for business. So there were several key factors, but me know business side now. Yeah, doing what you say. And business, no, I'm talking about you pursue your business with your crew. And equally, no, so who are outside, so now with your business. I think is that most of the
sorry or
key
oh,
okay, sorry.
Okay,
yeah, let me try to mail mute, but then
okay. Oh, bibi kakra kan wansana Mr. Mano asha se wo you know say slide no so.
Okay.
All right. Where the Yechobia na yada Mr. Minister say or this very important topic about I feel say senior shots, you know, communication is the cut across. It's, very important, especially in business. Even in your home, how you communicate with your children, how you communicate with your wife, how you communicate with your bosses and your friends and other people, is very critical. But since it is a business, you really have to develop that skill. So people go to school for that. So people go to school just to develop that skill. It's an interpersonal skill. I was all your day. Each and every individual be a business-minded person. I was say or concentrate on that. So that's Mr. Mendukan. We have this verbal and non-verbal communication. You have to be able to understand how this functions. So country, but ne gestures, the way of getting your man. So it just tells you what a person is trying to tell you. I believe this is a very, very important topic as time goes on. I believe we will get to understand the importance of friend developing that skills na any business we want to get in, whether it is a farming business, whether it is a buy and sell business, even if it is an investment or whatever you are doing, how you communicate is very, very critical. And I am even here to learn more, but we cry yes, you want over to you, Mr. Men.
Yo, Mr. Ferris, me da say legend. Answer with the beba no, obi you ano ama. Obi you ano. Say, hwinti ni your friend akoto. Meaning say no idea your brother Bernard or see hwinti ni akoto. Na
okay.
Ojitum.
Buzan say na ayu so ye de ade.
Ayo.
Ayu.
You say no, okay, Mate. Odi eje du beba. Mr. Bernard, me pacha wo ma yakoto dia atoko dia odi be me you so dia.
O se witi atoko na me say ene ayu so ye de ade.
Ayu so ye okay, yo Mate. Yo we da say. Mpanifo me di la no sabe ma Mr. Meno amana to aso. But me pa macho mo hwe se mobile like wo ba no like. Wo on subscribe me subscribe. Na YouTube chire me say nipa dodo na hwe SOS but dodo na nye den subscribe obu on subscribe nso a wo activate notification bell no eti eje bibia na this wo kai na nsa enti mesre waba subscribe mai enye siketua bia na wo like program na eno boa ma dwumade ne ko akire why me da wase na mesade be man legend no ama no me kai se na misua no na ye kan bibi se abopra de na no atipa ntine ye kom badwamu sa na se ye pray bi na ne ye omo ano ate na omo na ne omo kasa kane ansa na ye bibia ase enti sa no ho nti na legend say dey e important say be hu mass communication ti legend e da say manonko.
Oh, okay. Enti me put 2 points which is strategic communication. So strategic communication which I say communication it has to be strategic, and it has to have a purpose. The entire will make it a conversation, and as a communication, the entire way. And I will say what value are there some communicating you, and I will say when you go the entire yes are communicating, communicating with purpose while showcasing value to achieve a goal. So, me ba ejum na me no baba be kasa. Edi enti ma me ba ejum e ba ho a me no baba be kasa. Ade na me no baba be ka ho asem no. E wo se sombo ma me na sombo so ma wo. So, then ansa na metimi achieve goal a yepe. Goal a yepe ni se me pese me ton. Oso pese o ton na o ton. Ye nyina o se nya mfa so. Eti me be gina ho. Na me spend 10 minutes. Na me no kasa. Na me ntimi an communicate amfa ade na me ne o me pese me ton ma wo ne ho. No ma mo hu se ne sombo a me go no ma me se me go no. I can imagine say me wo a net 24 hours. Mako ebia prospect. You were different between the buyer which is the name and you work prospect. Prospect ni say obia we me feel say be obeto into my men nko kasa. And on your sales. It is akasa na me spend or prospect no. How long na me do what the ho? Me spend me whole day on wa the obeto at the element me and go. It may lose value. I have to strategize my communication. Oh, many lead waha, many lead waha, many lead waha. Lead is not a buyer. Lead just say will show signs. Be a idea me way or the purpose, no value. You know, it be a sum the bomano that obeto. It means spending my time in our side the patroni wa that day no me lose or no gaining information. But me I may turn idea no me lose because that whole day no meant me and turn. That means I couldn't achieve my goal. We come into down and you understand where this thing comes from. So when you identify your goal, so say me goal no be to say me say me wo bia me o kusuya me kokwato kusuya go bebre now me goal ne say e wo say me ton me kusuya no ma omo me fried rice omo betu restaurant near there. Okay, now I was saying starting to communicate. Now, how do I communicate with them? Now you have to be first of all, I was always expressing practice listening. So it is be a make us say so one nyabotre no way ntie me. Maybe I make us no per se one side the American the American in our better so you know and you have to practice fully engaging when somebody is speaking, a speaker is speaking. You have to sit down, now wait, absorb it. The more I absorb it, so you can have a pen or paper, point of it, I know what to watch, know what to know, no busa questions, know what to watch and reflect it. And then the when you're fully understanding of what the maker just said, maker just say now start to say, oh, draining for the makano, open answer the mamia. The making in ano, a coasumu, but unti. So one form of communication, you have to be an active listener. And you have to be listening. Maybe it's not Mr. Obeying the topic, but I take my sometimes I listen to the beginning now or now we are member show also right away. I take my time and sit back. What's all be line at tomorrow? Now me reflected near my okay and I'm a throw from my points. No my intimate also no now I have exactly where and me reflect here come abroad but money near my me force me sua e be boa me de me ye no and just be okay na if you one or two things be sparking me and no my jump on the corner and ya me can't no. So you have to be an active listener. Take your time to listen. Listening is part of communication. Because somebody might be giving you an instructions, they might be giving you so many things. And also we know about and when you be a good listener, sometimes misinterpret the nipa be britaika. O say na me feel say o can say there be when tie prospect ni ye into your can say e bia na ye pekosua ni bi wan ka say o pekosua ni bi oso aso akosua ni nyina de egu kan mu de akọ afi uduru ho a oso o ni ekra ni ye adwini hu na se nya me no kan ye no na me say e bia no. Listen to what people are saying and follow up with questions. Memra, me simu. You follow up with questions based on good listening. Now, if anybody will say, "Oh, say nipa we krano, me na kasa," or na nkwa so or ba osu osim, and that's it. Says no what to was. So you have to take your time to do those things, right? My second one is clarity and on the point. And your uncle mambo. Say clarity, they say, over keep your message, short. Obi will jump not one the another person in the job. Keep your conversation short and on the point. And ya feel now could make you up story now. I could call up that's in a woman and I could call him a woman Louis. And at that time, no, Sadi panel, Sadi name Fano. Do you hear any Cusiano? Any sales obey or profit margin no any one adrenimo. Say now the beba, say no benya, or Thomas say no benya, and when they want to go. So you keep that conversation to that level, no, then what I'll be building, but and ya feel now I could go to Obeka so many stories and and OTA market women sometimes some people will talk you to death. They will just talk and talk and talk. And meanwhile, no, if you ask how did you know how to sign when you know, if you like me about 20 and that's 30 prospects with different buyers to go seek, say obey me at tongue because you any be home. But one wasted time when you now could ne bar one pass GS ne now the G what could say answer when you now have food. No, what makes it the point? Clarity and concise. Be on the point. Go there. Avoid, communication outside the industry. Say outside Kusiana Miltona. Leave it on the other another time. Be on point. Another one. And I begin a kind of non-verbal communications. Maintain appropriate eye contact. Anybody say, "Usho be any meno kasa me show any usho menimo." You can learn so much from just good eye contact. Anybody will be a fairy idea, or type in anymore, see the terrace. Will be travel tra, or type in anymore, person with him straight. So all these things, no, so me use positive body language. Me buy me now come out, me know straight, me show him the American, because me person me response no free, yeah, the what do I know pay a catch me. Name the body cry catch remino. Ebe me say, we may sure side way up. And it takes skills to learn this. And you come, that is one thing that I high in power. Say eye contact. I be focused near any public casa open to do business. Right now I'm limited it to business. So communication. We can do communication in different forms, baby, and I say, sorry, and those things. No, I'm just limiting it to business. So, even sending a shaky nipa sankrano, unsu saying shaky nipansa, it will business deals. Also, pursue a businessman. No, quite what me know, but yeah, what drop on, and I will say my bodo, and as will be me, Saturday, no. These things are all communication. Into communication, say firm handshake. I look you in the eye. I smile. I didn't tell me by no. Me no walk. Anybody say me who exhibit confidence in their way. Say me be told my dear man. Me go real, right? Me am free me farm and I say me am a business I may. So I have to exhibit confidence. Confidence. They say na usually shaking the pansa. Oh, job interviewer. They tell you all these things. Firm handshake, but not to break their hand. Eye contact, good communication. Many parents the old cano, the entire buy, I don't know how to buy. Sometimes any parents so better idea. You have to read the science around the Nipano. Because any be a good so be a hobby break. Steady frequency nipa ban the store. And an warehouse be funny man. Any man in cook. So what could be 2-3 times? Any man de taho. Also better. If you also the baby man credit, one side because you have time. So who rank why you mistake right there? Because me buy maybe 2-3 times. No, you say every time be baby ano. Any man taho store him. And the nipa also mouse store no go up and down. Me who say that there's track. Traffic no doors to say be any people who did that. Madam telephone so they are friend about first time. Workers are no mutu when you they are not helping anybody. People are not things are not moving. Also because we should be a memo. Maybe 100 crates, but us meet me to 20. na 18 betua ne kakra kakra na so mema boso me miensa me so okay no akota 100 crate bia dey abesi ho ba wo ko ho no wo observe ye no say there is no traffic, there's no foot traffic. A man from far the name and sa or be says to the warehouse. So I don't know how do the never become. And come to clarity concise no. Ukwa study short conversation when make you wash it. Who you know when you ask and on say and the man cost wa it say me a will is 7 man 100 gram. I mean can't say we are 10 and 20 that ready. Said on the sika beso. Media mano. Oh, my dear, next week, you best have a town. You buy best stop, and I die. Buy best stop near their bro. No money, but maybe who can another compare another prospect. If you be soon and baby will be pay product no no the asan will pay. I have call floating in Elku baby because while observing communication is part of observing. Me call me share around. Me share name e koso. Me share how did it. Okoye amafo gunu so se odeka de obeji yuntu aye o sa do de akopre so ono waji obi de okoye no de o de bakro ne ye no ontu aye nipa ni gunu so all dealing with the previous be a client now no obeye oniwa when what happened obeyi na dwe free the previous clients ne so no do ordinary about because una are fresh and I know about and I don't know and on amount for the year amount for the day amount for 419 for example Ponzi scheme omo de geo musica organa no oje we dey no dey akose service kodo na the next time the kodo dey oje coffee dey akose service kodo no akose kwame dey be service coffee in the everyday we are no arrest but who call the next person because oh you're a nice business person but who dey connect here who say the business model. So you have to fish out those things. And you can fish all these things out based on good communication or communication strategies. People can talk you sweet and will amount for talking for connection people. Connecting the person or the travel agents no. Okono no obi okon tu kwanda. But we need be biala bruche or be convention now they will still kind of passport can say pam. One in the shadow crown. And we know all these stories. They are good salespeople, but they don't have anything to sell. That is what I'm saying. When you go to the market, there are a lot of good salespeople, but they don't have anything to sell. You have to watch out for those things. I understand that also putting shoe in other people's shoe, you know. Now when you compassion or business, you know, per se over to me slide nako stroke kakra. Over to me rules slide kakra. This is me number 4, baby.
Okay.
You know, and you know, you have to be very, very you know, wako enipa no bia osesiano de ni kunukoto hospital no oba. You know, and our neighbor any accident, and our the workers be asema about screw down kakra. Now, if you say any a precise and okay, yeah, it will have to yeah, for I think the order my phone, yeah. Okwa say ebia ne benya accident and when ya tragedy be on a bush you know, opesa okoye salesman na chinchina the other koya pesa oton and went to the hakujina ho. So you have to have empathy or so understanding. Now say at this time no enipa no ogrivu and a bibiato no. That is where Krana will be sure say as a good a personal business, our person only independent business with good communication, you know. You will take your time and say okay, and then buy any pair when you say my mentor me boss na me nipano me give with the nipano. So then what trying to say be a the actual granting out here and but maybe that might not be it. If you are not going to be but over the other to you me take anytime my maybe no have a group. Obey say akomama no uhunu as a nipa a one ne ye adwuma enye just business pay. You can buy you can buy flour, you can buy gift to say oh, and it shows say to the my buy, but back in your mind, you know, because you have this thing say oh, let me buy business. I mean, if I accept now to know my calling me in a grieve. That doesn't mean the business stops. No, man, in 2-3 days, or no, I will get over it. Then you tell us, hey, and me or name or who into unim say show empathy or no crown pobeka say or when the grief time crown or bit my friend catch say oh Fabra because when say what show or do actually. So and I look at there might be some business aspect now who so bit me be amount but because who say we nipa no show or do actually no bit my say oh bro me a year amount they will go above your way to even do business with you when things are go show or do oh nipa agree. And one thing I see about most market women no more on pan yana especially being here omutimi on Fridays no and Saturdays no to me point them say oh my client we when ye me kujano ni mami ewu ni kunewu say these things or you chrome dada now who could say no and what dreaming you say a strictly business spend out in the panel oko for me community and I'll person the be a part of you because when your client back now retain not every month or to say 10,000 cedis free a year or no quarter say 120,000 or no quarter free say 10,000 be as on first move and 1,000 say you don't quite be no 12,000 for one person now who replicate this behavior way and answer communication skills way edit now clients best 100 scarcely now be a year multiply that 120 by 100 that means every year piano but then I show the communication skills I wouldn't depend benya and they said I can communication skills and only just casa body language all these things are part of it public speaking no matter how it one good platformer me say Mr. Obene Brad Charles will be a public speaking me no me entreat you be say me encourage you be say right now social media me to Texas America Mr. Charles go Italy Ghana and so me no share kasa now no there are people on more platform isu minimum by omudin but me hu na me hu no but onu hu me obi hu me adentia because every day me the minimum to camera news hwe me na hu me baby a won say mini aden na how they do anima see so wonu me ya sua kire yen kire ubie wanim e wo say wo do ho kire nipa as long as about business no you have to be able to communicate communication no just say only live in person but Mr. Charles me share the live in person but it is said you share because every day me hu nanim so my issue hu wanim say na wontimi a free na ekro platform a be kosu bia oba Mr. Obenho oba Mr. Charles ha baby a wo school try say enipa be hwe free wanim e be hu say 5 minutes cry na oba so ni hu na okọ bazo kwaza enipa relate when we see pictures. We learn and think in pictures. Now we have to communicate in pictures. Make me the manual tranquil. But make me the manual track. Yes, sir.
Also, you have to see in pictures and take away. So, pick you.
Yeah, we see in pictures. It may make me the. Today, see, I'm a say, I have a white dog. So the catch was a crime, and yet the word DOG no now show. When your picture would say me or crime if it as some I can a crown for you or one dream. Me catch say me ukosua sisi awo me ahase me kuta ya se me fa kosua nchiro but when kosua pen and a kosua ba wadwene mu. So we see in pictures it is sometimes no se bia and let me know tell say na me say so obi ani Mr. Obendako enye the word Obendako na akwa hwe when the picture da when the face da ni mfonyi na beba wani so na beba wadwene mu adentia because uhunu the bia we no adi or the TV so na uhunu or the camera mu the same thing that was so here it me obi o ha me share da e wo Ghana me no mu ye but every time bia na me frɛ no WhatsApp ma meet me ye free video call touch me video call no ma hwɛ doctor and teacher to say oh Mr. Menu say and they will start calling you a good communicator, you know, dance be hiding behind avatar bina midin kwana de bia be medina she it's try no and no should give you over to 2-3 minutes what be can was public speaking sometimes no okay say we are no video less you know no akwa no akwa forward na akọ baby a okasa ye no no wetie de okaye na kra de na be kan ye me kan say obi okra recorded the baby okubia de okabia no ono a recorded to her e practice yan tre ye nima we yan train you upbringing you school near the yan train but no na ba e didi dwa it also usua it you find strategies I bet me use to and marketing kiti. There are so many things I mean you have to free online and then you that by anybody didn't know catch and all the picture train and you kotoye ya nsumu but the buy any home I didn't see pictures they are talking to us in pictures so public speaking you know in pictures and you one fine show beyond it's all learned so you can learn it and you know dynamic and to join organizations we are not to join a platform like this no a good way and a cheap way I'll bet me advertising or also be public speaking no written communication there I think as a business person no senior you can't written communication how I'll bet to be only be agreement if you are sending the email and I be a documents so be a contract be a business na kosoro and sometimes no when I'll be true but your written written communications so you learn those basic things and then your tools be buying different AI tools be buying and no my draft business business emails and then reports and then the amount you know be up a partnership a bit my drafted agreement amount no how could you know what's a son unimi be yesua is part of communications and your business no you know and so you come on and then you be Togo and I say Nigeria and I say Benin you know Ivory Coast now say me your business now make me 3 more that is where emails normally sign my name away and be coming to say me to be any part communicating in French make me a draw now I translate you then I keep it. Now I communicate. Only neighbors they speak a different language. It's equal to say between a business. I want to be scroll down still. I think that it may 7 to 12. No, a couple points that maybe now. Yeah. Put a question and answer. And I call second page. And I don't know better the one. 7 to 12. Yeah. So number 7 or say be adapted to your audience, no. So your different type of audience. And I can say, me ko Kumasi Juma audience omo no business different. Me ko farmers no na me koto emo na say me koto enuaba farmers need different. Into baby me could be an also me hu send ya me audience na me meet you no me no be kasa. Me fa laborers ba me dwuma ma laborers no ba be ye dwuma at that time no. Only a different audience. Send ya many market for any casa no. And yes, I have many farmers in the casa. And then yes, I have many laborers in the casa. Drivers almost many near yes, I have many casa. They are so in as a business person, your communicating skills no it will cut across different industries. Transportation for we no more we no nti omu nyina e wo sene a obesua ekwan a befa so no mbekasa me ko dwomu na me pe restaurant for bia mama to me no buy na me ko choba a different any local me e was kwan bi a me ne ka me call restaurants or no for say high class or any name bi a e wo kwan e wo say me ne fa. So you have to adapt a kwan obe adjust your communication skill to the different industries I'll be meet you because they are part of you, you know, your suppliers at the end of the process now. And the next one is feedback. Say obi ma feedback. Never take feedback say on pewadi. So I was said we need Jimpo say, and you have to insist say it was so be amount of feedback, because feedback the memo who say at the end of the who ye ko wenim, and I say it was said who straighten you maybe up. The yana high krumu pa and say so obi criticize ya ni ebuofu. Then you can be a business person. You know, sometimes no, you have to as a business person and as an entrepreneur, you have to brace yourself for criticism, because a guide, the feedback is the best way. Who said because who here you need it. I can't cast about to say the ultra a synonym say the chia. The original say I deal with chia. What do you do? Oh, you have to do straighten it up.
Well,
that means what question? You know, at this day and age and at this time in your life, until the last day I'll be free as I see. So we will be always learning. Every day we have to learn a new thing. So we need because manu so na is choke you. Now say the no so 50 time we be seen then they were calling so me is your friend say anyone as a choke you. So feedback is very very key. You know, you have to ask your audience, and I say your customers. Because and they might be able to say now who is saying you have to get the feed obi your own country, but the dangerous part is obi your own person feedback no or far crana if you are now on only can now or business that come be fufuro. But also why you are not dealing with Musa. And then once you say your client or that they be an old do never good. I feel all far dream because there was no communication. I found one journey. I feel after one day and that was his kind of pan. No, after I can't say, oh, your client say, you know, I feel I can't do that. But if you are feedback and the oh man, if you are improvement, ben and then after say you have to take their business, because the more of no making, the more the more making. They also drain now you feedback. Now I say, hey, I don't know the man. Yeah, the more tray send you open a better store, a better content. So communication there be no. Then you get feedback, then you make your corrections, then you move on with the product. Confidence. Well, I think say no one beyond the year can say over practice building confidence. No, before I call client be on. So what meeting 100 times grana, you still have to prepare well. Go to papa so. Bia bosumi we buy na because the name we didn't na we are decent now be kasa kama. Internet dem e kwa manya client dem is and say we dem side to this and money bit here o pe kuna any polish akese so muti ne bi ni no nya ware wi a ko no fi so be gane sign bi no kan yo me na make so enti o pe ade na polish na hotel na odi nyaye no unya o so policies are na dey maintain the clients no wenya no o build to build confidence, you still have to prepare well. So for meeting, be out in the so be when a new product and as an old product in the crown, also have a presentation for Framana or positive body language. How out in the Bekasa, how be presented. No, say at the end of the what one man for bear 10 years, still have no enthusiasm, who energy womb, say what the other brain. So no, so I feel it. What feel it well done say. Just business transaction with their project ton we don't have fine when there be we keeping them because they say it takes less money to maintain clients when you know out that to go get a new one, because to go get a new one and also we hear presentations and also we hear adverts and also you see but the when you know what that and also crop. Now, confidence, be prepared well all the time to make them happy, so you can keep them. Another one I had during the pioneer conflict resolution. And they be can't choose this year. Or to jump, or quite a ton of them you look at. Ukobusa ya ukase obano na ne buafu na okasa otone nsa etre onim se ebi kura na okwa akohwe obi ako compare the wa be fani din nyina ba de hona no we lusu sika ebi anka onya ya anka ebe boano for the whole month, because when to me onim how be navigating disagreements. Business disagreements will come. Opa Falcon market baby, Falcon market Genesis to Revelation. Business disagreements will come. Into when you how obe learning conflict resolution, and I say obey obe develop our skills now. How they be solve disagreements everywhere. I'll be kubiano, and any business be a better biano. Baby, I'll be kubiano. Obe meet this idea no. It won't mean yet a good business person. It will someone as business, no, someone as business, there be sometimes no, it's better to take a loss. Nessa start to be than to make a profit. To send ya assemble na sembeko na assume bebe fieno. And you better say we be taking a loss. In some businesses, you have to do that. So we need to take our best name away, Master. Entrepreneurship na esimuno. See, ye baby tie nice words, encouragement, any idea. But you do stage e was see a tre near ubekwa ko face you Makola Kumasi Jom. The face to face, any part of the was on you. The only man was to Suyan and say what last TV 2 years and sana auto boss our build business. Oh no, Suyan Bako crowd. They also in the business, I know it, but say any panel. Udimus or a prospect our winner who business no be calling him. It never be over. You have to swallow it. Oh, pride. I was all packing of pride, crash, baby. And the pride. Now, cut down. When you say at the end of the year and you but for the sanity of your business, anything is scabe cost no business, the best sustaining. Only baby episode the business you do. You have to take a loss. Now maintaining there's a saying said the customer is always right, which may disagree with some point, but it drew baby an ignorant customer. When you say ubet me are turning around, man, you're right all the time. And a nipa who's say nipa journey and any attitude war a debi one. And yet one day penny this is sano. Yeah, a habit be a ye a nipa, me no million way. Habit be a yes, ye one. And taking ye just easy just to quit that habit. It's taking us a long time. So imagine so be a habit na no ye na inside this cabreno. Now see unjai. There be for the idea come out be. It be a weight 10 kilos. I feel quite who say or no or the idea one at the be 8 kilos, not on the same price now what they are command on. Afe uwa ko jina ni maka chen say adan am dey adan bro 10 kilos na what so man ko 8 kilos now so they the same amount no. You have to find a way only the better resolve side there no what the need in here and was I didn't still 10 kilos now would be gaining market advantage than say or better train two a free so I know there of two free so I need the baby dosu no at only the same price no yes can be than say at the end of the ho ne contem no sacrifice ne contem so there are so many things I go meet. So we have to learn how to solve conflict resolution. We have to get into it. Another one here, and then be any digital communication. The fact say Facebook or WhatsApp or and I say TikTok ni say or Trene any pay good TikTok so ewo Ghana obiya ye di ope. We are leveraging the way I was say you're leveraging, and rabbit or my name wife and you ready to order. Yeah, I think Mr. Obendi will be to TikTok and to me. Move the next one. A young lady be Ghana Nina amount for one site now. Omu advertise it. Omu ama member. So I'm dead serious. Omu advertise omu say. Obefa oba oho Kumasi na say 250 cedis ni say na ofiri so a oba no on the host no and when you nipa bebre na oman we kasa na we have advertising no now we have and I'm say hey digital communication na bana amount for a day building millions no any billions no ye krom no ebi no dey advertise omu. So now, maybe know me as a business person, how well any alpha because and just the fans say, take that about you try picture be an idea to so keke. There be dressing, managing decent. Try to think the audience our person on the channel, omu decent, omu person omu serious business. And just we try I wouldn't ya be more. It won't cost you that much. Obi trap. Yet me crop pictures nibi. Ye clean, ye neat, ye nice. Now they are too ye decent. And just me could not a form as baby no trap. Now for say a dependent for the imagination and no function who's idea now on a ye. There be waiting. Unimi ye bisa. We have so many people are willing to do so many things. Me upon say me advertise here. Just donate another guy or Ghana and no more design no mommy. Because you can't just say me need time. I can buy the software, but me need time. And they did it for me for free. There are so many people who meet me and wow, it will business. Maybe I will be a winning. Seek help. People will help you. And the last point I mean, and yet all the points in United, but the last one I mean, storytelling. Also, you assume you see TSM, Oba, message. My storytelling, no, ever for business, no, communicate effectively. Business environment now, use story, no. I know, so we are straight to the point with the topic I would call it, but for humor, a serious conversation like nipa ni mood o call that day crowd nipa no sorry free ketes no unim say na all dream and unim dey afa the trim and unim the second conditions or the about now but also no be business light na the time so ko baby na study the atmosphere hwe nipa no me any say me name wife nya kasa na e ko a ura ifia you will never see it. You can stay in my house for 1 week, you never see say me no fighting. You will never see it because we made up our minds. Say you disagree. That doesn't mean say you need duties. We are disagreeing 100%, but we still have to maintain our duty. And I'm the one so never talk. And it has to rain. And rain the end the muna. So we have to have those things. Use storytelling, steady people. Anybody who mood be more, if you are now we the solution that day. Say a crowd the betu nanim, amana sere, a bell light in the mood. I feel bones any day and started picking up. So, and you know, these are some of the things that I think that yeah, as business and I know that, and then you can see in check, you know, question and answers and contributions amount for beyond so no omutime at the come. And you know, me summarize it and you strategic communication me talking about mastering communication skills for business. You can master communication skills for so many things, but I'm specifically still a business. So, and we're talking about communicating with purpose. Now, while showcasing value, now they achieve a goal. You know, goal they say me talk way, me to me person me koton kusiya na me okay, me purpose they say, or say me communicate purpose no. Value ben na me de to kusiya so. Any nipa na me to amano no value ben no super kusiya no. So we have to have a value system because between no can say be bra for value be any actually when you go be but they no can you have to have a value. Then it will bring the goal no to us. Obey identify a goal no. Then you have to understand your audience, customers, suppliers, distributors, market women, web wholesalers, and then you name it. You have to understand audience. No, so I want to audience now say it will be very difficult for you to be pitching sales communication to them. You have to understand them. Oh, I have idea there has Sahani, you know. Ghana community. That's the first no can they say you know. Now, how are you going to change these people's mind to accept the product now they are about? You have to come up with a better and you have to get them talking, you know, communicate the value, express the need. The entire media deal with man saying you have to communicate that one. And resistance, you face the resistance, no. But we have to you want to talk obituary say business is an art of war. Because in Nippon, why you used to certain things and talk now on echo. Now you have to combat the resistance now. The entire man now you have to combat, you have to fight, and you have to tell them the benefits. I always say the benefits. You especially products be benefits, you know, a bit outweigh your friend is saying the negatives, you know. So more drink a positive mindset and the benefit that will bring to that person. And you know, so and Mr. Ben can say, what the numbers are say now many people who say I deal with your family say it be every month be an extra 100. Now my new say extra 100 no you could see a year ubenya say a year now 2 years now who invest say scawe unim scare bro give them something be like you started thinking differently than they were used to. Maka say scawe unya mfa sanka they was showing no part be mano say oy unya ubenya 1,000 free sa dey we ayetom sa 1,000 upa fashe ha say ma ho 3 years ubenya say adena me dey bro. You know you have to talk and it's all storytelling to come in. So niema we nyina mesua me practice it do practice e be boa say one person get na ha ton ade sa o dey nyina you have to give them something, give them hope. Yes, it's sales pitch. You have to pitch it. That is where communication will come in. And you know, Mr. Charles, I don't say when you're ready, you know, you're open. I think that you're open for any ABR discussion beyond I said questions beyond it or be contributions or the beyond. You will take it. You answer.
Yo, and then I come last time of legend, you know. Legend that's it. Metra. That's a pa ama me anka se mu kura me metimi se mito sini nti message na ba no ebe ma me bi we say me musa feedback da so many times no say ka me do be so me nya courage na me busa feedback ni wo publicly nya say bia en ai nipa kakra bi no say me busa on feedback nti no asem wa ka de megina so na nyame ado ochinyampa me de beto wa SOS WhatsApp group no community ni me de beto na me busa feedback abusa obia how si hu SOS efa the no say the see cost to say no person SOS so they can e ho e de beto Facebook nyina na enya feedback ni de enso de de tumpo e say the otwasa na onim se na ne chia achia no say de na Mr. Boaje ka no enemesua niema pa nyame ni enemesua niema because eno kan no si picture kra no eduru bi a even me de na ye mfato ho obia me wi am de link ne to obia nso fa ne de me mfato ho me hwe duru bi a even video no kra no even just a picture thumbnail no kra no beto caption no kra no eduru bi a o say eno kan me use picture ebetima communicate iti ene mesua ne mapa ye mesrewa wa utie me se wo subscribe because YouTube kire me se dodo ne tif SOS a o mon subscribe we ana o ma subscribe so dodo na so no mon turn notification no e wo so ana de wa turn so kran so na turn no all se de be ye bibie de beto so bia so no be de obehu se enene da wanya enso so a ye wo WhatsApp community enso so ho a emda bia yesua de ho ade ba ko a Mr. Aboaje de beto so last 2 days as last day o de beto so kire o say for education purpose o chama o decide beto SOS community no WhatsApp community so na o decide beto na mani age because on say SOS WhatsApp community ye disua de enko a nye just say bia na bibia ni na ya tama ye nti me da ase Mr. Ferris mpacha wo ho
Bacho mi ana
me bacha enyo
o bacho mo ho pa
yo we bacha legend Mr. Meno say what yesi ha na ye betie o ne oja ye kobe bia na ye no one na nam ye panelists nti there was so what my no and you're not awful 80 and then they nipa 20 na hwe I hope say omu nyina so I like a subscribe program na say that's it
yo Mr. Benu that's it church out there but yesua ne mo bebre in fact yesua ne mo bebre I mean sure was quite so the crime de beka ho am so waka na but the crime de beka ho ne say we you talked about our friend the non verbal communication but main can verbal communication ho asem kakra aya na so hu hia pa so nipa ni shia talking about business deals no I will say utumi your tone of voice tone no very very important so a thread the state of your business acquire who raise your voice acquire who mellow voice acquire ubetumi ni nipa nakasa wasa kwan so very very critical so obu ohwa senia na o kan obu ohwa no fifi aba no na koma akosoro dada so nemo be brain na akoso ofia he is trying to become also be adwuma so also okọ business so oye na obeba na say also raise your voice you are rather pulling that person away into no I will say we study that environment now no can no so look at the facial expression of the person, look at the environment, and then know how to articulate your voice so na ebe manipa no ehun say no conversation na mo having no no so na nani nji wasa kwan so into no eba ni business kwan obefa so akasa no in terms of your tone is very very important. Now one thing so Mekaka so can feedback myself. But most of the time no higher feedback no yemfa nye dwuma bebre but ehun hia pa so but before then the cry no say businesses be a whole bebre they coach you of how to speak. Omuchiro kwanya also on the customer kasa. And they tell you exactly how you have to say it. So the option as a business, as a person now who you mama business, no, you don't have the option even to say your own words. They have given you the script. Also, sometimes you have to read to the customer because they feel say that is what has built the business to that level. Into no business nim na so the customer ne kasa. Ono no nim nya who face it at that moment. No nim the challenger who come at that moment. Into no on pese over kasa if you wankasa umu na if you wankasa mind mu. Into business no I will lay down communication principle. Hey, so be friend or be say this is what you have to say and this is how you have to say it. So into more lay down principles in now and you have to follow it with certain tones. So we be a hopper or no kasa pa to say neninje kasa no kasa no but only option be I say or smiley now or making himself approachable. So but we should how to say that is not what he wants to do. So because your tone and your facial expression is the face of the business. So inti nebu hokra na business ni bu habo no ma for greeters no more hono mu chia no more smiley no more your way. So just to make people feel good, said they are coming to a good business and they are doing good business with the manager or with this person. So those are things I would say a business person be will take into consideration. And yes, they are a hard. So now feedback now or can them. You say there are certain businesses or more reviews. People buy certain things based on the reviews, not based on the person. So, and I say the business name and I say Bibisa, but what are people saying about the business? And what are people saying about the product you are selling? People base their judgment on some of these things. So, and Anina will come out of, make a business the way on the Mikasa Granenye. No, I try to hope. Make a the way on why in him Granenye. No, I try to hope. Until when people are going to buy something in that store now, they know say you are not a customer person. You are not customer friendly. Until they will not even care to come into your business or buy your product just because of what people are saying. Into feedback, is very, very critical. Edu baby cry na Jesus be sending disciples and they say, then I'm going for family. So but sometimes so be a can be for and I say business one ye fee say nipa time. And I said nipa no empayasem. And I said nipa no on pay me ye. So but they are very critical. What's your be a utrasa no nim say nature iden achia. Internet very important. So bring a feedback no with me at it in the wakwanya ebe business non my day manakoso. Internet feedback even if you don't get feedback, you have to request for it. Send your organ. So you have to request for it. Say obu owa obetowa dia ombabium. So another, but also besides say I don't product and then of course so then you have to be that aggressive. So to find out what is happening around your business. And yes, now grow so business no will be or on channel so because where do I go do not day any business. That be your approach, your way of communication, and those kind of things, and what customers into mumba. So these are some of the things I will say or look into.
Okay. Is that very?
So the mic now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now make us say in business, there are professionalism. So but at the same time, you have to give room for friendliness. So Also make room for friendless. Yes, a professional, you have to act in a certain way, you have to speak in a certain way, you have to dress in a certain way, you have to act in a certain way, but give room for that kind of friendliness. Sinebe and Crawford to me, I think about you are not a robot, you are a human being, you can think, you can process things. So, intino, a woman says senior yenioma, but at the buo, it has to twist a little bit to meet certain need. So, into your money and what communicate it to meet that person's need. You have to be confident in your speech. So, you have to be very convincing. Okasa also kasa clearly, so that nipa no betini how can I say? Or can be bu or very critical. Me person nipa adwen kosuka kra. Mr. Mendo, some more kind. Also say, who sell you product and I sell, who sell you business. Men continue bebre. So sometimes you have to really hit the point. What people want to hear. So obu owa obeka sasa bohuna main point no bohuna kokechi na everyone to me aka wansem kra. So intino what this person kasa bebre a hit the main point first and then talk whatever you want to talk about. But then you know what send you message every. But efe na akoka na esi wo fie na oni esi wo yonkum na nye ko community na ko eko so wa sorry na de obeka kasa nsem ni na ewie na nipa no kra no wabre. So na nipa no kra wabre. Intino in business no you have to be very very time conscious. So time conscious has to relate to how far do I have to communicate and at what length. Then I was a maker. So in the new marketing be say it may bua my business it take a very nice shape. Into a cry me per se medical near Mr. Menu a can was yo, but that's
Yo, the first, yes, that's in your mission up. So, umwane emra, maybe I will say, oh, serious. I mean, sure. Ebusianfo, I think I was joining here. So I say, subscribe my, so unsubscribe, and I hit the notification bell, no. Why I won't like it, so like it. The entire Ebusan and maybe I say, a boama YouTube, so algorithm, no. Efa emetimi sende message no so ko akire so wo pese nkomo a yedie ne ko akire nko ade a yeyemwa na boa ye me da asinyame nhyira wo the edroy ye beto yen safre ye papa ye brother ye nua ye senior ejedu ba chawo
Me bohase titi asore don.
ding dong
Your boma homrachi as a many wine, where they have a sorry ako.
wow was it ebrebi ya na oba na me de yi ama senior Obibini Africa was say great job. Are there cultural differences in communication skills? For example, do different regions avoid eye contact as a sign of respect? Ejedu. Medieba NDA. Okay, so be a
Okay. A good question. I mean, kind chia legend. Legend. Ama Messi. Really, Messi. Every me babu ma kwa ha mentoma. Abo bemuasi. Na me de chiao. This has been one of the best presentation I have been part of, and it's very, very articulative, very straightforward, very well explained. We say one TRC, I mean, Nim said the ABC breaking it down at the amount. And I will encourage everybody who has said, save the video, bookmark this video. Very, very important. We should be BRC. I say, we need business. Save video no toho. We should be BRC. Na a guide. We mechanic said the manual to great business communication. se o adamfo bi ono so ye adwuma na oni platform we so a push video no ma no ebeboa no bebre. I have been in business and niyama bebre wo ho legend kan ya it rings a bell and a very very key thing niyama bi we information we no mamen kan no krenchira we pay to get them. Yetua sika ekwotena obi na ase na wachire yen. So when you get things like this for free, men fan say a free intino, you are placing no value. Meno my save video no dada. And I am going to be very straightforward. Legend Kasano said your kind, and I was taking notes. And there are 5 things I want to say. Na mabayinu no question no so. Na the kind mature say a good communication is the genesis of great business deal. Because unim kasa na u communicate yeah ubenya business deal no matter what. A lot of people are be preaching omo de eko amount for the omoniama ba, but who follows our sequence way a legend na you become a good communicator. And once you have a good communication skills, you can make a business deal. It will happen. Obi buy or the national watch ba wo ba nena no obeka chro wo obi wo okay any wo de fabra or china fabra. That is what makes you put you on top of the list. My second point I'm sure say a good communication leads to a good adaptation, or a good communicator is a good person who can adapt. The amount adaptation na me can say woni nipa no ekasa mu no ebe ma nipa nani beje wo ho, because wonim de wo ka wonim say de wo kyerɛkyerɛ wo niema mu nti ama wa beye nipa na beye used to you, they are able to adapt to you. And because we are straightforward said na bra Felix ekano enya fe na wo be kyerɛ asori a wo connect tight dodo a wo yi no bosome there be enye no. You are straightforward, a business and I'll buy it. Into kwan bia na wo kyerɛkyerɛ wo niema mu no very important. Say a good communication leads to good adaptation. Into yensua na yen put into practice niema ya ye. And bakwa me try ya no bra Felix aboso make I say short communication but straightforward is a good selling strategy. Ma wo kasa ninye tientia na man ninye straight to business. We are nisana a one sermon ye kakra bi. Instead saying ka be waste 20-30 minutes. What the 5 minutes? What some maybe be up. Into a simple easy say nipa no obekai in sermon on ne wo kan ye no. Na aka ni trimanunti no ebema wabeye on top of nipa or neomokasa no. The next thing fourth one I'm sure say self-confidence is great communication strategy. Wona wo kono wankasa woji wo ho di saying adwuma na wo de kwa akoton na wo business na wo de kono, how confident are you? What appearance, what prepare wo ho before wo be call questions bia na e wo say you bisa no wankasa no bia wo ho say wo na obi beton wo business na ma question be na wo be bisa sa questions ni nyina nti no wo kono what build with self confidence. When you appear confident, it becomes a very good strategy for you to be able to communicate, because wo kono winim de wo koka nti wo kan simbia unsuro. And my next point say make sure you don't lie in your communication, because we can throw our communication alongside you will be, your covers will be blown up. And then once you are discovered, say you lied in your initial pitch, and I say your communication in your business, seeking business, and that will be the end of you. Lies are not supposed to be part of it. My final point, revisit of clients is another important communication tool for client retention. wako though or my business and answer one my business no I was also free I was also call back to them say oh man no me na pacho me na no me buy wo store no me buy no why you busy but unkwala no ka say we be free be a Friday nti me san free na me no ma pese da ben na pese membra or so oh this week my busy nti be next week okay next week da ben na meet me from Monday Tuesday and I say towards the weekend or so we be a free me Tuesday anopa no wa free me na no me frɛ wo na me no di nkomo ka say Tuesday nti anopa ni say mu ya metime no wakasa ana say bia awia na ma frɛ awia no de be hye no keep on calling so you revisit you keep going until you get and no be many partner who say wo no we serious ba wo call ba ko na oto nkosua 2 crate ni nti no wo wadwa wo se kura wo mfrɛ ni biem and last point I make will be and say even when somebody don't buy from you and they listen to you, call them and appreciate their time. Fre nipa no na dana se. Oh, me pacho enra me na me ba shop na nka me beton kosua ma ba me hu say na wo so wo bi dada. But me pese me da wase say oje mre na one me kasa ye. That alone speaks volume. Because you won't crofo bi a omode niam be 100 Chris abre maame na wato a omo ntimi amfre nimpo anda na se say oni omo ye business but wo na wa ma o business no wo watimi afre na da na se a next time se chance ba obefre wo aka kire wo say oh boss mpacho we dey na no ntimi anto nkosua ni bi but this week ubenya bi ama me ana madam fu bi e wa ha me ba jawo timinka
okay.
Yeah. Intino, and no ye key factor. The going back and revisiting of clients, showing appreciation to whoever you communicate with after the communication. A boa a client be so me the basic hand your question na e ba ye no na was be said be na fi ma de meet me aka wo.
Okay, but Mate, that's or say are there cultural differences in communication skills? First question. For example, do different regions avoid eye contact as a sign of respect?
Me line kati into was it the eye contact?
Yeah, or say are there cultural differences in communication skills?
Okay, in religion to avoid eye contact as a sign of respect. I think say when it comes to eye contact removal way na culturally no you cannot keep an eye contact be me find say wako hini bi ahim fie and that has nothing to do with business. When it's business, you need to keep the eye contact. Also, ne facial expression. Be mo who say asem na wo kan otio anase ontio. The wo kan de hiano anase enhiano. So for me, business wise, I think say the only time Obeka say Abia, you cannot keep an eye contact. Say Abia, the person has some deformity facially, and obefili say Abia staring at their face. Abia wo share ni deformity, and I say wo share BB one name and no. But once in a while, you need to keep an eye contact because an eye contact is a sign of respect in business communication. If you can't keep an eye contact, which means you yourself, nipa na dwene be ni say me ne wo kasa, waba me nchen for business. Now kasa no we need the nchen, we need the wiem, we need the form many there. I will see say one kasa we nye serious. But when you are focused on the facial expression, you are focused on an eyeball to eyeballer, it communicates to the person how serious you are. And I think say kakra mekanon say in business, I think that is one thing I would say.
Make my channel kakra. Make my bamu kakra.
Me bachai.
And the question, was it your eye contact be or a very creepy. You know, what feel when you now hear any partners are any partner now, dear now, we and yet no eye contact, no the eka. But the eka eye contact in a business settings, no. Or say, Obi Okrana or Kazi says, I want to be any panel in Ukraina, in between any panel saying, Elmoa, I was so more a bonenim. Obusa questioner, Senya, Bratra Sky, and Obusa, I mean, Mr. Dukain, so Obusa questioner, Usi Utrasi, Umo de Kosoro, now to trim. That means Okrana only reason be to be in front of that client. Because when you're sure of yourself, so it deals back to the confidence, and anyway, any obeshe any pana niama, I mean, we any mama, ne who cry and say, I didn't have question and say that's also creepy, but you have to find look at a professional manner. Oh, but some question, I was some show him. May I answer Krana, be a fair Krana. Some many question, me if you any question, so that make it to be a budget side. And I said, oh, mama, to say, I'm not looking directly into your eye, so I can still speak. What's a many show when Yankasa? Is there a camera? Yeah, team way. Your friend is a meeting way, and I said training way, And yet every time behind when you work camera, that's to say, but Obi Ohi be who you say we are you at the camera anymore. Because camera nature free angle be sana independent. Also what you share be straight say and so who the wall side and side say. So you have to practice that. And yeah, because Obi said now of a look and ultimate show be a dinner. I say, hey, acquire a serial killer and I saw ye or ye creepy and I don't know shame you say I day. Obi to be sure grandma over say what I ground button baby at it. Sometimes Obi to be sure my to be called Oko zip say, hey, may zip MP because the rates now they show and then normal. So we just want to, and from the question, I don't think say traditionally Oko you crew more even now chow in a crana. Ohe ni man san wo boom. Oboom no a story a ohwe ohenanim. Udimi ka chem se wodru empanyufo anim na wo chia no we you ani ato nche. Anase wo chia no we did asoro. And even any business setting kra a sign of say on your own respect in the panel. Now how much more while walking into my office and also walking into my environment. Now I know be casa for a business deal. No way the share for man as we the I don't think that there is any culture. Oh yeah, yes, you Ghana, you call I call northern part, you call Ashanti, Brown when Fanti, maybe anyone may sure say eye contact here, taboo I don't think so.
Say you call religious inside now, and yet taboo, but I say in
Omo de omo peye buye nti no omo yes and o can answer.
Okay, but
to me mix it business with religion and I say culture.
Yeah.
Culture ne baby say okay, yenton aboa we wa ha and I say yendi ade we and I won koton. But say ade ne ya ade aye ton na wakọ say wo kwa akoye business there. You need to keep that eye contact. And the best way Niama ye kan nyina na ye say wo fia na wo pese wo practice ya gina wa hwehwem wo sinka wo paste wo na hwehwe na eda w'anim no na sha ase na kasa ade na wo koton no build this confidence na hwe wan kasa w'anim wa hwehwe num eyeball to eyeball na wo kasa na wo hwe wo gestures any ade practices ade no wo camera wo ho a sa ade na wo ye no na wa set wo video wo nchen na wa record it wan kasa wo voice pitch na wo ye no wo wi a na watena se na wahwe nti wo be hu mistakes wo be hu baabi a niam bi a wo ye nko yie no wasen aya wa record biem. Trust me, we record this idea way by 7th time no na be your habit. We started first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. By seventh time, no, na be your habit because wo kasa no ade na wa tworo na opese wo koka no. Tworo na fatare ahwehwe nanim. Na wo nkita bibia na wo hwe sa ade no so na wo kasa. Na wo nti wo ka na wankasa wabisa question wo witirim question anka wo ye client anka wo bebisa. Na wabisa no wayi ano na wo di nkomo na wo ye nti no in wo behwe wankasa wo video no bewie no wo tena sia wo behu say oh okay ene me duru ha we menye ni sei we menye ni sei e bia wo business is be 3 wo ton nkoko live chicken nkoko asem ye different frozen chicken the pitch ye different nkosua pitch ye different poultry manure pitch ye different bibia ye different you be practices animal we nyina na fe wabe ye master of yourself into baby I'll be gina biano wo sa recording na wo ye wo fie no practice no wo witirim into wish ye nipa na ne dimi na ne bibia no bomu se ba kwa yi abetom on say first ne wo CD changer and ne load CD by 7 into no be wo set we no nyum we ba na bomu se changer na ba na we CD we ko na we abetom into wo different pitches what practice agu and no na ma we ye the master communicator no because baby I'll be gina biano you can sell, you can pitch, and you can talk because why ye practice no wo fie so wo yere a ubetumi na wo yere ma wo yere nya client no na wo ye business seller no na ko na wo ne communicate as business level wo ba ubetumi ama wo ba na ba be ye obi a ono no na wo ne kasa why ye questions aman obisaw na waka obisaw no waka na wa set camera bi ama wow we no your self timers ewo we no so betumi set video na si nchen wo de twere wo flower pot bi a be video me wo ye no na wa wo tie nsem na wo kan no ne questions no said you answer no then you can modify them and you will be the best because I think some of the basic questions in be bad.
Yo, Obene Midase. As from okay, no. So when they say me can't say them yeah more can them be catch them.
Yeah, by phone to you, Russian, my who's so many amount or the cardiovaka.
One I can also call. Also, I give you you can say you're very introvert for. On say public mark or public speech here. And answer o can edwadie say na ubo say o fere it will be a mere person and she do will be a or some communicating will be for just as a business and I say be the obo me say me invite you be a money platform so and I say me in interview but me tire in message so many times must I cancel no me tire must I cancel no so no me jai because at the end e betimi aye you betimi I cover all this me that one say
okay again a ma unya sa idea na say opesa will bring his any panel to your show and I say opesa on any kasano. So beginning of the catcher say you have to have a purpose. Into communicating with a purpose, and to be your purpose say you can say me grow me channel no and I say me here sa at the share way at the chere way at the my audience no it nipa way na betimi aboa me. So now I identify a purpose no. Say me my purpose no ye strong enough. So obstacles be a bia me part bia no. I will overcome it because and one thing they say obi anywhere of our casa e will publica or you comfortable. Omo reading news no. Unim say what time prompt or and say ya throw about the camera nipo adisi the anymore. Or no or ye did this car what na so at TV so 20 years 30 years every day already free baby. Now who ban no. What makes you think so buy now sorry now there be president crampo kasa ya trauma no and the board and him no kind. It's a with and you my yen a baseline. Now you practice. And I know for do can. But when you purpose now. Now fair now Baba find it. Okay, many purpose no. The value need to say partner I deal with sum your book, say yes at the three way and as I the way. Send a bit to your boy. A boy say na a baby, that's the goal. And the answer now will be anybody be bout trim. I was a nipper way pan nipple bit me a boy or sa at the way moon, and I'll bet trace I deal with. Massa don't yet strong also. Yeah, I name my and afraid you not high cassette night. A be experience, but young core former school be uncle communication skills. Ya brabomu any the observe any the who say coso any who say the kind of business no one e be me yakofa then ya share the the main purpose of when you say adenti na ye business people no ye ntimi nkoye nim. Then I realize say your vocabs no the vocabulary na e wo no and also because me I want to be no omu e pitch your business you're free and just go, but it drew young so near I say you can't say. And no matter how long I will free Ghana and I say how long I watch baby ano. So spirit, you know, I can say a boy you move from you so into a share so. So a quite the first one, yes, you bet mania dango tenubi or you chrome. That say Ubenye skana modi atoka na modi ka na echere na modi dem bi no mi nsa na echere yen. How can we say I started as entrepreneurs? They are paying big money to go to learn these things. One a year it may break you was this Ali Baba guy, you know. Yeah. I was watching him this morning. The guy doesn't have any education that was to be papa ne mama ye here for, but Embra was setting up so be e-commerce no Alibaba site no. Every odd was against him. Until then recently umu mafia no kakra wo hona enemeko bonema no. Onu o made video no beto SOS ama obi ahwe. O decide say Africa is the place to be. Now, making the plan say every year, piano, Obeba Africa, Obeko 3 countries of Africa, to so Obeko Africa in Asia. But the name of look for Africa, Hono. I feel me just and say, I've never met an African entrepreneur or and same safe Africa than a Chinese person. Only I know, or no, not over 500 billion industry so. It's a man for who near ma and okay, say education, forget about it. Speech make other brofono cross menti brofono. But I believe in what I so when you believe in the purpose now, it may be unstoppable. So it may be unstoppable. And many wives say we have to come to a realization, say challenge next year by hook or crook. Also be free promo. I don't care, whatever. And we striving on it because the guy be say no. The more I see the value. No, it's so high. I say I'm wasting my time, so I have to go. They say no, I have to go. I also be JBB a good Ameko, and I want harmony, peace. Near tear one say. So you have to do those things to overcome that. There are so many things that we are in our public need to mean casao. But and then we are building the confidence. Sometimes you see the word confidence till say you be for us Brabekasa. On our bills ahead. Need now be through Trimako. They thought they were the whole kind of refi. But with practice, you get there. You're perfect, but with practice. So we have to practice that. We are here to learn. Practice. That's it.
Yo, legend, me da say, nyame nhyira wo. Ade ba kwa mani gye ne say SOS by me try every day bi say many SOS benyini. SOS course na me so me try say me so me make it pull on the steps, because before SOS, now me a different person. After SOS, I be another different person. And the boy na SOS I think say sa na be ye. Every day biano, I'm trying to learn something new. I'm trying to be the person obetimi aye. Meda enuanoma da omo for the first time or buy SOS platform so meda o mase you can obi te say JD Organics me name say be endin na asesa so me sure say we ni wo ha e better na say brother senior Oben Nicholas me da wase mo se mo pese mo kan SOS WhatsApp community no mo test me me contact na beto ya me beto mo test me ye de mo beka ho na mo so mo aba beka na mo sua niema ye be pass la no ama Mr. Francis Mr. Francis pacha me mo akwa ba
mpanimfoɔ megye mo so mekyia wo bibia pacha mo timi nka de
me pacha ai
yan konkwa
Mr. Menu kasa bebree na eba communication me for one mean call communication school bia, but it was on the job training. Before then na ye nyina be kai Ghana na samna na ekoso pa ye kisoba eno na no bia use ana PZ de dark soap ba inti ye ni pa ye fa yen se yen pen market na obi a me wo engineering background na me in about marketing na ye kwa introduce dark soap bar ewo marketing inti na very difficult, but perseverance ni communication skills are any on the job training na yenya anything no within a short time no dark soap bar no eba overtake kisoba minim se mo be kai it was around latter part of 90s and latter part of 90s na sa issue we na buy enti mi hu se communication no enye duduo na ye kire wo school ana se near ufu se wunim, but baby a ubedu bia ne ehun skills baby a ubedu bia ne ehun communication skills as I say we use. I think say Mr. Menu kasa no okani nyina say ukọ choba for na ukọ akomo enyomo a ewo kwan e fa so enyomo kasa ana ukọ restaurant so na odi unoma e kwa akomo ewo kwan a e fa so a enyomo kasa. It's all well said and done. I think say ye ko ye nimu ye nyina ye build up. Me kai first time I started the very first day I started SOS on this platform. Uncle Charles, you're very slow, but this time around, not to say improvement. Improvement, sir. It's yes, practice make man perfect. I say, yeah, koye ni mo no practice. Na yen build on it. Ebeboa ye nyina. Nti we dem penifo. Your time aso a ye dwane akontu. Kwa nja ho no makona omo nso amo ye beti wo back door na obi wo on brem be da matipa
yo see me da sini I want say knowledge Mr. Menu can be say or say yema feedback say what my feedback pa me da say nyame adma ochinyampa me say me de baba beto SOS WhatsApp community so any Facebook na me feedback me because me pese me nyini me SOS the nyina the nyini bom But your person be see me.
Okay, Abusafo.
Let
Yɛba
us Mr. Francis.
kakra. Meda mo ase paa.
Yo, let us nyame nhyira wo. Nyame nhyira kwa. Eni anom na dofo mo join in me hu senkofo aba ene de pa legend topic aba ma atimi edi nkenya aba. So far yeah kasa 23 ene your life. Mesra wa won like here no. Aya na enye bo apa ye minim sa. Me iduru be na tire me. But iduru be no me di no habit say me ura obi a program a the first time me ensem me like it. Say ama me so kra na enu se me free so no na ma like it. Nti no mo won like me so like it. O like na eboa ma YouTube na recommend video no ko emankofo. Obi a won suspect no kra no na wa recommend ama no. Timi se mo me like na ihwe video so mo ma yen share opinion e wo ho. Na Mr. Wada wa won subscribe and so subscribe because YouTube say don't want to share so no mo subscribe. Enye siketua bia me da wase. Enuanum a mo pese mo ba platform so no munya botre ma memo maba e show kire mo se mo nipa ba mi nse bi mo pese mo ba na munya nya chance no munya botre ma mo beba o ma yen kono one by one say be ya obi an so betimi a share no de Mr. Ambulance man pacho akwaba yete unka che
Yeah. Jiri sɛ ɛgya do ɛgya misamanu obiara ho yɛ. Yo.
ya dom ye ho ye.
Ya me deɛ metete afikyire ha sei. Sɛ meba me ntankyɛ. Sɛ migusu a metie wɔ akyire hɔ no mo nti anoma bɔ awuram kakra no ma hwɛ deɛ ɛkɔ so kakra. Nti meda ase so am saa kwanya yi. In fact, topic no topic a enigye topic ɛde ma me. Na mmom nam adwuma a meyɛ ntirima nti menya nsusuye biara ɛwɔ ho but me bɛyɛ madwe sɛ mewuram nti wode mɛsɛ sɛ mo nsa me ho ɛne deɛ mo nsa mfa ma nipa woforo na ade baako a mesrɛ abisa sɛ obi wɔ link wɔ Alibaba ɛwɔ yɛ platform so baabi anaa because bɛ sɛ me wɔda nneɛma bi ɛfiri China na sɛ obi ɛwɔ ɛho nimdeɛ bi anaa biribi saa yɛ nipa koro no bɛtumi de aboa me a kama ni bɛgye ho mfidie bi a mehia water pumps ene feeding wagon na nneɛma no bi wɔ hɔ no bi asɛ mesi abɔdin wɔ ha no ebia no baabi a ɔso Italy ebia no wɔn mfrɛ ne saa na mmom sɛ menya nipa koro a ya ɔso a metumi alenke a metumi ne nipa koro na communicate bi da wɔn ase.
Yo, ambulance man ye da wase o frɛ SOS no afrɛ bibia SOS no just say but o kan SOS na nyame adoma me wi ametese o me di nipa bi number me mana woni ne di nkomo why
Bedase bre misa menu mechiao ejedu su mechiao obi bia ai so because me so benda akọ because no o fire holding den ya nenya asam ketem say enura na ase na nsane ne ai na meti akire honum timita afikire ho a mintimi nya kwan nwuram ai ntimi da mo so bebre family pass on enkomo obi so medase.
Yo, me da se me so da spa me yiwa prim one Mr. Francis Mbacho me yiwo so prim na yama enuanum bi so wa kire so ati me aba na o so abehwe o moayi na eda wase nti se me sika no mo me like na yen share no so no e wo Facebook ni YouTube no na yen subscribe Mr. Mwada ebeboa because e dey ya lenye be kan no e baby etimi kotua sika ansa na wakotua sa ne mawe ana ono so no okotua e na okoye no de bae nti mama ono no ebre na okobre na odi ni botom sika koye no enye kwa me na wase yadru ye mbra pani Mr. Kwamet so Mr. Kwamet.
Hello boss.
Hey openi odi say SOS shana wa ma na say o say me hwehwe o kira kwan
Mpanimfo me cheche obia.
Yeah.
And that's say me so metimi aba be pie so. Bampa cho bibi particular wo hono mo a ana communication ya hu nkomo an yedi. Ba the American yan say Mr. Menu any mpanimfo Mr. Du that's bebre and our brother Charles and so Jumadi amudi wa SOS before say eboa ye bebre ma yensu yesua ne ma bebre na sa communication na se bibi wo hon ma bra Charles bibi wo hon ma wo pese obisa me pese metwa wa no ntina me hu se me nkom anim ana se me ne dan
wo de ne bra.
Oh, okay.
For me person do the ne because what the father bra.
Okay, no problem.
Let me some no ejedu ho mo e obi o bebusa.
Okay. Okay. Idea ba ko a me meka on communication is before I be communicating, you know, say ultimately adapt to the level of our audience, you know. Why now we communicate here, man? And I think say Mr. Menu any penny for the kind can be brave. The thing is say unse ayana we say impoka Mr. Being poka. Ade no sa wo hwa abrofo ne de ne nko na sa Ghana ni na woni ne di nkomo no wantimi am breaking it down amma Ghana ni no antimi related to we say na emwa no enti before we be communicating no edu ba bia say otimi hu the level of nipa no so ne understanding ebi o bia uko use big words big rabia na emwa no it is all back to the level of sanipa no eno na betimi beboa be ma be hu even how as I say ebi a wototo won samofa and as how as I say woka won samofa it is very very important certain bia and wona oni market kwa peso rem into market kwa peso rem no the kind of people are person or reach out to them na kwan ben so na abefa be to be reach out to them. It is our level no very very important say you bit me ebehu. And they do baby na say we communicate with obia wo de wo ho so hye nipa kunu so shoes mu a eboa wo bebre so otimete dia nipa na ehwehwe na itimi boa wo bebre ema won so no because of the ho hye ni shoes mu ntino how are your approach and how about your presentation biano so a baby be a beboa Mr. Manuel can be clarity and so and sometimes we just don't have to waste time. And the American you say we talking about communication it purposely doesn't mean say oh kasankwa there are other nearma ekeka ho a anase ya ni nyina so no a communication. Befan says Sadia platform so brother Charles Onyema atutu ni nyina say meeting time ye be share wa hanu ye be si and say order we see no atutu ni nyina a form of communication. Inti ade ba kun so hu hia ne say don't communicate in such a way say the information and the message you sending across no bia enye no kre. Never use it as a bait. Be say, oh, me yana media winning because open a long-term we say relationship with people and also with customers. Inti don't bait people. Inti make sure that your communication is fact. There be a fact about whatever message you're trying. If you are selling a product, and let's say if you are looking for investors and so on, and also no communication, but your approach to that kind of communication also might be different. It may depend audience no into audience no and I said ya wo hwehwe no and a bit be strategically no we bet be who the kind of approach as we use. Sometimes the tone how we say things obi o krana we hu so you too aggressive now we presentation be amana ebu emfa ya woni am bi so won mo a o marketing as one aggressive nso a amanipa kunu elusu confidence in you enti so otimi hu adekwa a opesa wo ye the kind of audience I will meet niema omo hwehwe a ebeboa wo ama watimi aye bibia and I said the message na be send across no ebetimi be bibia ebetimi beboa. I don't know maybe any enka bibia but we're talking about communication then social media any we say bia no so ade enso a eno nso no edu ba bia esese yehwe na yetimi etiase. If we are able to understand sa na ema no nso a yetimi hu the kind of bia messages a yebetimi be sending across all the various platforms no nso a for people to see what we are doing na ni nyina nso a form of communication timpacho me de besi hanom na me waste microphone so time but that's very
yo senior that's any jumadi also so di no chire obi any media de minimum jumadi odi a chire the support to SOS enti no me that's sara me da obi bia ota SOS echi ni papa mo ni boni mo jumadi ni duro bia na yedin mo melibu me eduro bia na yedin bi okra na ebuse won se na akra SOS nkra ho na chese yenye oh but upon this would taste our support na attach enough na wo ani ma unsuro nti sana sititi edase yedro yema me so I think say yema me the first time the enya no wa say me mo a onyima no misre wa enye so onyima no je say on kan chem na me mpa na cho ma me me pa cho me wakwa ba ampeni.
Oh, hello, Edumezo. Oh, me manda ebusia for me chiachiamo. Mambantem na me logging in na me hu some kind communication. Communication. Senya me meti ase ni se wuni obi edi nkita ho. Na matena Ghana ana meti abuchiri. Aya minya ekwan kokokoko mmia wo Ghana. Enti se Kumasi kejetia na medua. Ha wo mo market empabwe ya wo de kon na se sande ko eyi. Eye different from Mokola. And me ba America so na ye adwuma wo 2 different restaurants as a waitress. Now as a waitress no. Would minimum wage $5, I would dare to say $2.30. That means what dine card depends on how you communicate to the customer. Inti SSA wutimi hu unipesua oba and communication so enya kasankwan. Abrofo ye hwehwemu hu say 60% of human communication ye non-verbal. Say enye webie wanaka se bibia the way ya waye wanim wo wamwa wonsa let say won fa ho ade hye wutim na ototo ju sa minim nyanti amewa ha enti ni nyina no se wo ton ade se eye SOS ya yabasu ya ye kase se no camera da wo so a se wunhunu hawa wo be kasa na we tune we tone with body language so kakra in a certain way. And I say WhatsApp so na texting so I say wo share wo spelling so no spelling bi wa na nka your friend na so I bi kwa kan hu nti ama na ya te say wo wuafu wahu and communication abroad ekwa aware mu nyina as I say who say wo other party no onim ni awodwen so enti as I say before say wo besi abontini wo trotro questions potential questions and sama enkofo be ewo mutiri mo modwen ho a omunyom babusaw na wo de anu yi aba enti me the America be example we are na makọ Ghana na makọ example but ma so nyame adom I've been privileged to live in both parts of the world enti me ye waitress. Let's say International House of Pancake. Me customer ba wa man no pa 9 into me pancake ni wo wa ba wia. Ewia nso so de kire say sandwich ene nkwan so ahu. Enti meka che ni say oh oba emu an maka me da wase say na wa ba sa Mr. Menu restaurant wahu. Ene nkwan a soup for the day nkwan a ye ton ene no dawadawa nkwan. Na masaka to be a dawadawa ndi da me so okay dawadawa ya fine nemom your customers say we you 200 195 eperere nkwan ya de aponche aye so ahu endi banka se dawadawa kekebe ka dawadawa nkwan me de ni me kura mi ndi me ko nemom aka che ni se rere wo ho so ahu Aha, na ye 195 of our customers pay rare quite. Okay, yes, I'm from Ghana. Ghana, me wo a Makwala market, so key soap wo Azuma Tradia so as I said, me customer no ban and found so ye duma wa bank, so ye duma wa Kumasi magazine. One mammy, datching him. Oh, and that your seminar nebi wa ho. I brought for the ano de key soap one and Azuma Tradia. Nina ya don't walk on a year. Nemo maybe a key soap no ya 1,000. Azuma Tradia near 20 CDs and also with the posan your my chance asa. So ma answer the question amano. Because every hour ban key soap 1,000 no can you pay ni na ya 600 in 20 minutes. But my channel says Azuma Tradia 20 CDs. Intia non so ma marketing. Me fa no ntonchen. Me nya kwanya wo krom ha no kusua dental assistant. Na papa na o cheche yade no. O clear yen say you have to sell yourself. Ade bia wo ye bia se wo wan ton wo ho a onipa kro na wo ba no onto. Enti se wo hie nipa no na wo hia media me fari mintimi nkasa. Bra na maka communication minim ne wo wutiri. Enti mintimi nkasa metobi. So but so what try say me SOS my agraric platform maybe some de beboa me nuanom why effort and you mean so my back in kakra bebusa 1 or 2 questions but what can media me ferry me nkasa na chese wan kasa wedi wo ho abro e na me kan ye san so betimi afa communication wa wale mu miti ya me ya mi kunu efi adwuma ba me expect say anko wa be obekọ dwade kokọbọ aponchin kakra no wahwe nkwala no ba memie ma no nka no mamu na manim na misiwo akwa no so fie adwuma mo ba no no so ne boss ahye na bufuo so ahu enti obi epon na nani bo me so na wadwalai obedwalai oba ye kasa oba na misiwo dachi hinye and Nadia Sanya won call na titi ni miti ya me ya pa na mesrew minim sa bread ya wa bre na mom won kan fufuo kakra na nka won fa ayi na anu nkwan bi mfe nsi so na wunni wahu ebetwa kon e wo how am me kan no how am me presenting no me body language ni bibia enti communication no enya ade tonko a na maka no ye hia no wa aware mu ye hia no baby bebre I'm sending me casa want me dibesi hanum sanya ya mom pamome so wahu aha eti madam wase
Mame, I don't know. Me chiro. You can reach it.
Yes. Sebe mo questions so a mo betimi ebusa se bibi wo ho na enye clear so a mo betimi ebisa like I said no one me nkasa me yoba but menya kwanya akokokoko baby you know ewo Ghana the dia be come say say we be travel you know within Ghana me and me tie woman me sika say me nko Italy me nko because kwesi broni wesisi mi ache but bro no bia obekọ su bia no enipa wo ho no wo hawa omo kasa ne omo ye omade se wudu anunafo mu omo wo hawa omo ye omo ne oma wudu ye nuanum nkremofom so omo wo hawa omo na each way bia no be pick bibi ewo ho wan winti sa we ni nya ne mehu se communication no broad na wushia basic way basic me say zongo de na me de amamo no enye amanfo university wo fa we bibia wo ye bia be ye say obi aware anya perfect de nanso se wuti me communicate because ense say wo bi sa I wo dream say ne wo mi tim na no na wo ni tim wo ye ya na ne wo tim na bi wo ni tim and advance and telepathy na 99.9% of the time no ne wo tim na ni especially men are wired differently and a man so we are wired differently and say ya beti ya ho ase na ye ni ye ho edinkita ho a esese wo sua emema na emema nsusua emma media bia meka me se oba bia no esese wunya bema adamfo na bema so nya oba adamfo se na be ya wumetimi esua me ho so wahu aha emma ye hold grudges enti the fact is say ya argument ni nje say e meja manaka there be esese kwotokwa ya toto ne nka tema me pata mi ansa ni meja manaka but emma de ye de be wo so gidigidi ni ye shake ye ho ye wie mebo ana Aha, communication ni bi no. Enti me ni Mr. SOS, me ni wushia. Semina me ton wade ama wa. Say me di need ma as bema because a man would rather have you not love him, but he wants you to respect him. Into who board yes, a same amount. And fahu, so wedi 1, wedi 2, and 100, or bema be up respect. And it's a missiona man funny the amount. Right then, and fahu yame beton amount, must shut communication down, period. Won't touch it. Me kunu ka asem yo so oba o muade na nantie mu kra che so muade no de minim ho.
Eja do ne Mr. Menu home bekama.
Eti me ma me ka sanwa kakra me muni aba me so metimi di aka ho no me tiase in form of communication no na me so me submission na me di aba no nti me pekasa bebia me se mo fa nche me sa na ye de wo me wa hu aha.
No problem. So, but me must ask a question back.
Aha.
Na a friend is be a only a what supply obi near ma. No, na after when who say ufri we tribe way. On any the tribe no, but beginning and now all the supply they know him. But after the who say we tribe say na wa fa wechi akope tribe or no for say or no free the same tribe line na or no mumbe ma embe supply no. But meanwhile no onye ne boni bia would say what you are come kind na only a dibja. Because a tribe of free into the first say any say we and I say only would dibja. Say now be addressing and I say we say ni pano. Me find a kwan bi ne nkana yentonko so nye adwuma na say what ne ho no de measurement me ho.
Well, me shine in the lens of business. What you say in the lens of business, a customer, right, has the right to switch and go wherever direction he wants to go.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Ebetinya ye say ye broni na me ye bibini. Ebetinya ye say me maame ye mfantini na obi nso so mpem mfantini. Enti ensese wo ye too emotional about it. And your business, the business terrain is different. Enti esa wo shine in the eyes of business. Being that or your customer or no kura ni sika baby your pen no de beko. Ba me abna me ye naughty by nature. Ya wo me won kran pa no. Me due ma kwa busa how much ni kromo ni de mano say or de mano 800 because me peno no meti me dia so to 600 and she will have no choice than to come to me because obia pese o save sika so and in the business terrain no for tribe free ho for race free ho for BBA free ho not shining in the lens of business customer and na ye be pleasing no or no ni ye gold na ni dia ye ni ade me weti ni di matama ye ni awope for sika na mama na musia me wo mi chambers dia ya me fanchew but in the terrain of business there wo beti ni aka ni awo kan bia me kwa me wo ho adagere unti na me na me ya usika kotua me danka. You don't have to like me, but then you have to like my product. And make catch us yes, minimum some fanti, 1 pound fanti for 1 yana de mount 800, me de mount 600. Try my product, nishe. So we'll try in 1 month. Now still like you are not satisfied that you made it and yashi, and I will still consider you a friend.
Okay. Sounds good. Wow. Sounds good.
In Patu Budawana. Obi also betimi de ne de enso aba because in a business there yenya yemfa nyoma bi nkeka ho nkonya attach wabusuafo na onye omba ya aka mimi say amateur resignation say mebusua mi fi mi wutimi ya ne ape so
okay sounds good.
Okay. Ebi wo hwa I would don't mind answering and nyanya so dia mo betimi de mat ato a standby na obi foforo so aba kasa ba say bibi tire mwadwen in terms of communication dia like I said, you know, I've lived in both sides of the world, you know. Me shadanya dada but Matana street no so matana zongo inti no tax ye de ya fast a business de nyame adom ye de achame.
Good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, Batas.
Okay. Ya nasi Mr. Mendawa sister won so bi sa question na bra wa bra wo krom hand nya won kwa pia wati mi dem pa bota we chi ko because me makache mi kun sa mabre so mo se me hange yo na kakra de bia ne medwalai oh.
Okay, me da se mame.
All
Me
right,
da
Papa.
spam. Me ni je also no abana on ya be share ideas no. I think say the first time I nya wo hanti no ni je mame.
Me dasi so. Me dasi. All right.
Nya no amutie mesrɛ mu ada. First na Mr. Meno mama te say communication. First na enta nya metibia say me nya me bisuba say mekasa say mama yen subscribe na yen like program no. But you say no, mo fa nche me na da bia meka because eno so boa pa nti mesrɛ mu ada wo a won like here no aba na like here no refie minim sure say nya wo for like mami ne subscribe mami so person join SOS WhatsApp group nso a me bia me the contact in beto offer so a obetuma be join na ye to aso Mr. Ibrahim hey mpanifo hwehwe ho and then the communication ya adi nsamanfo pie
Yes, sir.
opening bacho mwako aba
Ejao. Yaba muso atnas.
Yeah.
yeah
Teach papa mo de mai. Topic now so a good topic. Net chire nyoma bebre. Me so kakra me so as a business ye na kakra. Me so skills kakra me want to say as a e ma say be oye provision store. Na utu nyoma ma nkurasefo ba wo ho be fa nyoma koto. Obo a sabi the calculation were from it never first say a seminar utu seminar what seminar no e our box no 24 because of communication no the part de bia obaba ho no seminar no so obo no hu say oh box ni na e bia room 24 box ni e bia 200 cedis to ba ba ko e bia 5 cedis to kon a uton no e bia 6 cedis a box ni na bia obanya e bia 20 cedis profit na the panobo say oboni tinku okay but obi o ba beto adono later o basa akoton aboka obeka say onyoma boy bi but onim say ne obesi aton adono nti but wo kire mu sa na next time bia obabia na oba onim say wasebesi de the kwato ade wo no okura me nim say na mesi aton kura obekire me say na mesi aton na mesi nya me kakra so da me cheno maybe to home appliance TV ne fridge ne fan obi ho ba house of fridge oba no fridge na open no o do koton emphasis drinks but oba house of fridge maybe ano tabletop no won't be found ton drinks no ntu busa no fridge no wo koye den o obi a me do koton ade me bi stock ti bi na mpese me do koton bibi no achese okay say store na wo bi bia na wo to deep freezer chest one and I say double door na bebo because tabletop wo di nsuo ba ko na emi shema fridge na ma ti obi ba so pe nsuo sacha nsakura wuntimi enya ma no e ba sa business mbe su no wo kire no mu abo so no a gina ona wo se o ene me ba na se na me yesa nka me beto ba tu kire no mu no ma de yi no wo se e bia na ade obeto kwa 1005 ba o cheche no mu no obeto 5000 na ma o business no so no economy obi ba se de obeto TV the whole no ye kese but oba so per 32 inches 2 inches so do ko bo ho kese a obenya problem because oba force woni na ahwe TV ni e da affect woni ena e da no to single room so oba so per 50 inches ni na no bi se o ubisa no wo da na say o dia me da no single room 15 inches masa o de boma TV ne light no ebe affect woni bo che ojo okay and TV be na be bom na single room dey auto 32 and 43 are normal but auto TV kese a ebe how what ase no what iti communication ne dey wo le ne nyoma kirikiti bi na o dey o business na mfa ho be bi a wo hye nipa ba ko na obaba no because of wo kyerɛkyerɛ ne nyoma ma no hu sɛ de ade na ɔtɔ no de tie ne de tie no ɔno na bɛsan ma nipa foforo asan ba nti obi wo be bi a ɔbɛka sɛ bi a wakɔgye bibi na de tɔn wade but na yɛ sɛ na oni ne customers no communicate so wo store ne bi a wo ya de bi kwa na customer bi ba ɛsɛ wo ɛwom sɛ bi ade na ɔyɛ no hu hu but ɛsɛ wo body language bi na nipa no hu sɛ ba na waba hɔ no woni won ho so no obisa no obi ampa cho opede obi a le pade wi uni bi kura na make sure say obe for so ama na tena se no wa wunye kura wa ma wakola bi apedi obi a different shop ama abasa na nipa no say oh nipa yo good abi oni bi kura wa apedi ama no ti next time bia no opedi bi obaba shop
Interesting.
ti me so ideas kakra me so no na me so me charity no me kasa bebre me koma ofofo so aba yesu etechire na before no so ka ye tie bi aka ye do te mo mi bi obeka e we me tu ma fa bebre nti ye da obi bia o sha ideas na
Yo, senior, yenso yɛ das nyame nhyira wo. J&D Organics na wobɛta yɛkyerɛ woba na ɛkɔ woba na atekɔ menim sɛ bia la no na ata atekɔ bi o. Sɛ wɔ hɔ a mɛpɛ sɛ wobɛba na wo de aba because first time a mahu ase na yɛte deɛ wo nso so wɔka na anigye ne mu akɔ aba nso so. J&D Organics saa nso na Mr. Oben Nicholas nso so saa no so obetimi aba. Okay. Legend Mr. Mendo and Mr. Kwamet. More kakra bi de beka ye twen just 10 minutes more now we are the humanity na baby.
Okay. Mr. Menu, my men kona wo de o ye big into we are na just say de bi o kan na end. Inti kakra na mpesa meka e wo ho ne say ye ka about communication ma ye focus on say the customer within the organization business communications are very, very important. How do you relate with your staff? Very, very important. And I kasa about say we being like to persuade and influence the audience, So what to me prepare who who the kind of message they ma we see because the main purpose they say ma in Crawford develop the interest and I say in Crawford any abeje dia wo ye no ho. It's very, very important to say your message now you put across, So dear Mr. Menuki kind so but let it be in a persuasive form a be attractive people to you. A be influence even more mind from maybe the negative to you. And they are very, very important to say before you communicate anything to anyone. Now one can depend on what you are communicating, what you are seeing into all the necessary questions, maybe a baby and we are capable of responding. And say sometimes there's nothing wrong with say you sending a message across. So yeah, you're trying to sell something. No be a bizarre question. Now you're too technical. Now we say won't to me. A better say, Uber coming out openly and say, oh, yeah, this particular way there. May way with it, but you know what? Next week, ABR, I can get that information for you. It doesn't matter what I could share difficult client, why difficult. How you communicate to them, is very, very important. It's also ne idea, bibi kakra, na me person me de kahu, but your customers and your staff, so our staff, they are on Crawford and your Juma dia, San Crawford, you communicate with them. Into communication is very, very important. And I said, Mr. Menuka, listening. You need that skill, no? You need that skill. It's very, very important. At 10 BR, you listen to your staff. Because sometimes, if utie omuye, no one man be too much of the bossy type na. A feedback maybe a normal amount, a message me almost send it across to you. Until they are also communicating with you. And yet time be I wanna I had to say wanna communicate with them. But whatever comes to you, no, so something, or sometimes you also have to absorb it. See the message they also send across to you. But that's very brave.
Yo, senior comment and share that senior minister on it. Possible. Mr. Ferris. Okay. Mr. Ferris. Okay. Ejedu, obeni said ye kind no say mpenifo dware na say insu infees to answer ntiro wo bibi na de be mai na fe ye de be wie ya no
Close on. Oh, okay. That was your phone in us.
me pa cho me ba ma yen hwe se Ejedu ho a na enka onfa ne de ma nsa na nka ja
All right.
Mr. Menu kasa na nka wie ya no e se on se me nka legend ni bio ye masako ke bio
Hey, kakra.
that's it Ejedu ba cho te nka okay, I'm saying Ejedu ni Mr. Ferris mu nyina ye
Okay.
Then legend Mr. Menu
It's fine. And I make and the devil was your phone in us. Ne, I won't be here. And you'll be the letter. And I desire your basi be there. A quite be fast so. You bet me any customers and your good communication strategies. I bet take it. If you are near bra be share and the Jumu Assem says, yeah, train. Quite fast so educating the end users. I almost better the amount of or breaking it down. We need communication in Libya. So we have a big role. The Anabra Committee Kano is very true. Say, you the leader, you the business owner, entrepreneur, what do be at the end? You know, send you carry workers. Omo do achi, omo nyina no omo pick a free and communication skills where I can. And just so I could do clients name and as a customer name pay. And I will call yes I dem or now done one what I could be before. The more I will practice it on a better rub of omo new year juma because Ubezel build $1 billion industry. And you know best story clients and the customers for every day. A culture I'll build it. It will be free with Juma Mubia or Becubiano. It was all was idea we win. You know, I know say Mr. Beatre about personal training, workers in society have a training room. So communication now Usiano. Ubi obe ben ubiano, ubi obe ba ubiano. It was this idea we ingrained in them. Now, uni no representative. It was a sign name you can't you also you have to be able to do that on your behalf. So and then Obia about despite idea. Uye Juma despite that their name be over yet. Because I also carries that image, you know. Into the same thing with communication, I also translating it down the staying calm. Only a few people now say conflict bar, you know, misunderstanding bar. Omutimi stay calm, no mutie, no real best solution. Ebema or no any customer na can it might not be find say ECG about one. Say the whole ECG na about almost smile will be the buy. Hey, and I also work an MBT ECG person. How is the communication going to be? Most of the time, the problem I say, oh no, na oba ne bia na oni onisa training no. Also akola no so ni training no. Because o makoye deal, no makoye illegal connection. Enye wo na wo ye, but enipa na we ja wo niema ma no no. Ene de ono so ba no. omu mienu nyina nia entete wo communication mu edomu nyina fo se wo so mu wia wo the boy no ska o de man ase bia and also the electricity to say no of course when ya deal ECG ni nipa no so asuma no so for say o be make a deal no ma be ya ade esi wo ho on where communication na breaking they say nipa no worker no akontitiye mu ene onim se ne awote a ka ECG ni suma nipa kra so ma wo ha sa de no entimi happen or premises ho. So communication you can see a dive deeper a bit taking up so many things about to you where you doorstep with your business in the move. And then the year can any day a customer go catch the customer in your business, third parties. How do we carry ourselves? Your image, kind of communication, huh? So, and you know, I know saying you started Mrebeba, you better also amount for the obehu any the obe practice ebeba near who send you beso a at us, you know. I know saying you tenacity over 2.5 hours. In per se, you be go too much. The crime they can one so be at least points I am making. Try so be implemented be. Nema your home results. Nema your feedback no. Na you find to us on for soon idea more. But that was your phone in answer. Mr. Charles. That's it. Yeah.
Yo, Openi, where the Kauka say, because me close to Mr. Nidium.
No
But
problem.
yeah, onya J&D, first time waba say, me
No problem.
me no, and I feel what you know, Kafra, Kaujari Yanaka is you, if you are somebody.
Oh, I heard.
Mati, any idiom, me that's in your sure. J&D, Masre Openina, me de Mike Nama, when you say we are nese, Edibesia, why?
Wow. Yes, so Mr. Charles. Medasi, Kenya, Madam Mami and Brie. Me will be my follow Mr. Charles, Mr. Manuel, Mr. Du. Moyem Painphobia, me admire apart from Mr. Menda page. And me who say no more ban if I name and you say. In Painfosi, my kind, you boom 9 fat and practice no more church and yansa. And so you bet me the attract business. See the Panaka Saviti. Men say maybe brave. Say mention Mokena going forward. Your home say the Debia Rebana, a business identity. And you know, on to us.
Yo, yeah, answer that in your mention. Also, up a number. Oh, bet my bed, Johnny SOS in the WhatsApp group and say, yeah, there be
But JD organized at the end of the way.
More opening more.
May into organic products are say the essential consultation if I pay a DDNA a pa be my channel pomodina. Anything about organic man peduano and quania holding. We just do that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. More opening with us pa why oh my, you know, number and that's and if I not eating como. Why?
Let's chat over backstage. Bye-bye.
I mean, sure, bye. Company for SOS supporters in a for Yamin Shramo. Muni wa SOS in your Yami Muni wa SOS in your. Almost say YouTube, we video go for the future tense. And they said the body books are question library. But and some of the book no question library no. Se wa nya obi a obeka ho ne wakọ anaasị obi a obegina na wahwe se wodi book no hye no wahye ne yi a unya enije mfa nhye mfa nko library mpo eniti no meka se me do bibia ase nyame nhiro bibia obia mrepe a wonya de bebo SOS de wotie de o comment ne o share eni nyamana me da mu nyina ase esanse communication e de nti mu me communicate ewo yenso status na enuanum na do fonso so nyede enhwe ne e course because legend was selling bre eni ni sika ana ode koye saade ana ode abekere yenso so bi nti ye beda obi ase ye beda ye mpani ase nyame ya domo a ye besa communicate eda fofore sa behia kakra yɛbɛyɛ stable ɛwɔ mmerɛ ho but ɛnyɛ stable normal sɛdeɛ yɛ no Saturday de bia wɔ legend hɔ no ha no ɛden sɛ metima yɛ stable because me run shift nti no eduru ebina sɛ metimi nya obi obɛsesa me a akosi manan ya na afei metimi nya mmerɛ sɛ nya saa de a wɔ sɛ ɛgya until sɛ me so mɛyɛ financial he kakra saa na wɔ sɛ me ya buy de nti momfa nkyɛ menye sɛ bi a mani nye sɛ de ɛyɛ no yɛbɛyɛ na emom eduru bi a na nneɛma bi ɛkyekyerɛ me meyɛ nye yi but kakra I think sɛ we will get there say every day be na betra na ye de besi ya ye begina so kakra edi nkomo wo kire ansa na ewia e nyina ya sa asori medam wase na me nshiro bibia